Over half of San Diego homes are now listed for over $1 million, while Las Vegas still delivers a high return on investment with homes under 500K. Which market should you bet on? Well, I'm Nate Strager. I'm a real estate advisor here in Las Vegas and in the San Diego area. Today, we're gonna compare both markets, San Diego's high-end scene versus Vegas's affordable and investor potential. If you want a return on your investment of 2025, I'm gonna let you know how to do it. We're gonna talk about it today. I'm in both markets. I sell high-end luxury properties. I also used to sell a lot of the day-to-day cookie cutter properties as well. So I'm versed in both, but I mainly do luxury land developments and things like that. But I'm a numbers guy, always analyzing numbers. So I wanna let you guys know and compare both. So in San Diego, 51% of the listings are over $1 million. The median house in San Diego is $1.04 million. In Las Vegas, the median home is around $480K. 14% of listings are over $1 million in Las Vegas. So these are the thresholds of entry in both markets. Both are extremely different areas to invest in. Vegas is Vegas. It is a gambling city that is now turned into also a sports mecca. You know, we have the Raiders, the Aces, we have the A's coming, we have the Golden Knights, we have amateur soccer, we have everything you can imagine. And from my understanding, there's supposed to be an NBA team coming as well. So that's Vegas. In San Diego, you have the most perfect weather in the world, in my opinion. It is 75 degrees year round. Every time I go back to San Diego and stay, which I stay there about half the time now, we don't even need air conditioning. You know, I try and stay as close to the beach as possible. And it's amazing. It's 75 degrees in July, it's 75 degrees in December. It's more laid back. You have the ocean. It's just a lot more tranquil feeling, right? So I think both garner their own individual identity. And I think that's what makes both so special and so different. So in saying that, nationally, 15% of purchases are investors. Vegas and San Diego are just tap markets. I mean, everybody comes to Vegas for those reasons. Get a lot of corporate guys, a lot of guys that own businesses. San Diego, it's a lot of tech money. I'm seeing a lot more tech money in San Diego as well. A lot of tech guys that have families are now buying there. A lot of older money, things like that. When I say older money, I mean people that have just lived there for decades and decades. And I'm seeing, you know, their kids there and now their kids' kids, and they're not really selling their properties unless they absolutely have to, because if you sell it, you'll never get it back for that same price that you're selling it for, because it's continued to rise. However, prices are dropping slightly in San Diego. I never saw price reductions in San Diego in the last, I'd say 25 years since things dropped in 06, 07, 08. But I'm starting to see some reductions, which is really interesting. Really interesting. So in saying that, I think you have to look at what San Diego luxury rental yield, but it has high cost, versus rising rental demand in Las Vegas with a favorable return on investment. I will say this. So I'm in the process of buying a property in San Diego. I've been in Vegas for many years, decades, and it's time to make San Diego my primary in the next 18 to 20 months. But in saying that, every time I go there, I mean, I'm looking at either purchasing or renting, and purchasing is going to run me anywhere from 1.5 to 1.7, or if I just rent for the time being for a year or two, I'm paying $7,000 a month. But it's extremely hard to find a rental or a purchase on the beach. I know you're saying on the beach, poor me, I get it. But that's what makes me happy. I like being near the water. I like having that, you know, relaxed atmosphere. It just makes me happy. But I remember when prices in San Diego for rental and purchase were half that price, and literally half that price, probably about 6-7 years ago. So things have went up considerably. But here's the thing. Even though things have went up considerably, and yes, there are some price reductions, the demand is extremely high. There are only so many properties along that coastline, and it's really hard to get. And these things are literally jammed together. Like one property is up next to another, whether it's a house, whether it's condos, whether it's townhouses, whatever it may be, because, you know, you can't replicate the weather. You can't replicate what's going on there. Now, in Las Vegas, you know, you are going to get a lot more bang for your buck. That is 1000% true. You can still get a nice 2,000, 2,400 square foot home new in Las Vegas. I have some good friends of mine, they're first time home buyers. I'm actually trying to help them get into a home. Yes, I normally do luxury, but they're really good friends of mine. I really want to make sure that they get what they're looking for. And we found some homes that were like 2,000 to 2,400 square feet in the low 500s, 510, 540. So there's a lot of value on your return on investment in Las Vegas. And now we're going to talk about the difference on return in paying for something twice as much or paying for something half as much. So you're probably thinking, well, Nate, of course I'm going to go with the cheaper option in Las Vegas, but you have to think about this. Rents in Las Vegas are averaging between $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Homes are around 500K, let's say 550. However, San Diego rents on the beach, only talking about the beach in this specific instance. Obviously, if you get more inland, it gets cheaper. Or if you go more north, it gets more expensive when you hit La Jolla, Del Mar. If you go further south, it starts to get cheaper, like National City, Chula Vista. But let's just talk about the beach cities because I love the beach. But if you rent something on the beach, it's going to run you literally for a 500 square foot space, maybe 400 square feet. Let's say 400 to 500 square foot space. You're paying 6 to 7K a month for a room that's only 400, 500 square feet, you know? So there's value in both. And I think it really depends on the lifestyle that you live. And when I say that out loud, I think that's a really important point, that it really depends on the lifestyle that you live and what you're looking for. Now, Vegas is a great place to raise a family. There's a lot of families that raise their kids here, and it's great. And in San Diego, it's the same. But being in San Diego, you're able to walk out in the summer and not bake. And the heat is very. It's a little bit humid in San Diego, but you're also able to withstand it because it's 75 degrees, right? In Las Vegas, you can't really be out 20, 30 minutes, an hour. It's 100, 110 degree heat. You can't really walk your dogs out in that weather, things like that. And I think all that stuff is really important as things to consider. So I think when you're looking at where to invest your money or where to buy, I think it's really going to depend on your lifestyle. I think all those things, I think that is the main point. And also, what can you afford? You can definitely go more inland in San Diego, maybe go a little bit further north, maybe Marietta, buy in that area. It's probably 45 minutes away. You could still get all the amenities of San Diego. And in Las Vegas, I mean, you have a ton of amenities. There's so many things to do. So in saying that, I think it really depends on your lifestyle and where you want to live. And then also for investors, what do you want on your return for investment? In Las Vegas, we are in Nevada. So there are a lot of tax breaks in owning properties here in Nevada. Now in California, obviously taxes are a lot higher. So you also have to take that into consideration. And one more thing I want to bring up, the tenant laws in Las Vegas are a lot more lenient and landlord friendly than California. I had a client, I can't tell you which tower or what the address is, but I sold his unit in a high-rise downtown, and he had tenants in there, and his tenants were college educated. They were supposed to be good people, and their lease was up. They were on a month to month, and in saying that, we gave them 60 days notice. So you're supposed to give them 60 days notice. And at the end of the 60 days, they go, we're not moving. We want extra time. We want X amount of money. So my sellers had to pay them X to move. And I said, seller, Mr. Seller, why are you paying them? But in doing more and more research, they could literally have drug it out as long as they wanted, because the laws in California for tenants are a lot more tenant friendly than Las Vegas. So that's another big factor that you have to look into if you're an investor planning on buying in Las Vegas or San Diego. When it comes to commercial, I think it's pretty much the same. But if you're looking to buy a residential, whether it be condo, high-rise, townhouse, SFR, whatever that is, you better look at those two factors, because those two factors mean a lot. Because in California, you could be 6 months and can't get your tenant out. In Las Vegas, you can get them out 45 days tops. So I hope that this video really helps you guys. I hope it helps you understand, investing in Las Vegas versus San Diego, and where should you invest. But I also think you should just look for the deals. I think if you're getting a really good ROI, whether it's Vegas or San Diego, I think either one is great. And if you get a high-rise downtown across from Petco Park, go Padres, that's also now a very, very good investment. So I had to throw that in there because I'm a huge Padres fan. So if you guys have any questions or need tips or whatnot, I've been doing this almost 25 years, have a lot of experience, and hopefully I can help you. So drop a comment in the link below. And make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on the next one.